The record button. Hi, everyone. This is Dawn Ochs, and we're going to talk about compliance in command today. So it's 1 o'clock on Friday, July 24th. So, Sean, thanks for participating. So what role are you in the market center?
Solo agent.
You're a solo agent. Okay. Mm-hmm. So we were going to talk about compliance in command and the staff or people that were running compliance were they may come on the call.
Okay.
And that's fine. So some of the things that I have on my slides today may not apply to you specifically. So since you're the only one on the call, I can customize it to you.
So, yeah, and I mean, I've been with KW for 8 years now. I'm having a really tough time letting go of dot loop, and I know I've got to. Mm-hmm. So transferring everything from dot loop to command has its challenges sometimes for me. So mm-hmm. I have two deals that I have to transfer. I was going to do it today while you were going through all your stuff so I could, see it as it goes along.
Right.
So that's where I'm at, is still slow on command.
Okay.
So I'm here to learn whatever you've got.
Well, I see a couple other people coming on. So what I hear from you is that you have a couple of transactions in flight.
Right.
Okay. And you wanted to get them into command.
Correct.
Okay. Hi, Erin. How are you? Yep, that's fine.
I just muted myself. I'm good. How are you?
Good. Do you know if there's anyone else from the staff coming on to the call? I should text Jeremy.
Yeah, so I mean, I work for one of the teams in the brokerage, so I'm not like super close with the actual brokerage staff as far as knowing their plans.
Okay. That's fine. So I was just talking to Sean about he's got transactions that he's we call in-flight transactions, and I know you're an admin on the team, right, Erin? Yeah.
Yes.
This might help you too. So I'm gonna switch some of the things that I was planning on to show you. Let's just let me share my screen. Let me share this screen. So I'm going to go back over to the agent side of command. And now, Erin, the thing that you're going to see differently is the fact that I'm a single agent on here. I don't have a team on my access on this screen. Okay, so I just wanted to mention that there are some things that are going to be different. So let's just go back to Sean's question. Sean, do you have the customers in your database yet? The people that you are in flight with? Okay, so you've got that down. Mm-hmm. Did you start an opportunity?
I didn't. So I was, so everything was just signed for one of the deals 2 days ago. So I was going to go in and start transfer. I know I have to start like initiating the deals in command rather than dot loop. But it's just I'm so comfortable with dot loop.
So there's a couple things you can do. If you still are in dot loop, you can attach dot loop to your command as well as DocuSign. So they can both be attached and synced. But the challenge is that you can't sync both of them to one opportunity.
Gotcha.
Okay? So it's only one software to each opportunity. Okay. You can pick and choose. The trick is that you always have to create the opportunity first and then click into the software, the electronic signature software.
Okay.
All right. So that's that. When you're in opportunities, I'm going to show you this quickly, and I want to make sure that I provide Erin with some value too. So when you're in opportunities and you are you on a listing side or a buyer side for those transactions?
Buyer side for both.
Let me jump over to the buyer side. So in our market centers, we have created placeholders for the buyers, for all the packages. So when you go over to documents, you'll see we have placeholders over here on the left-hand side, the folders for each compliance transaction, part of the transaction. And then here's where the documents need to be uploaded to, okay? You see on the right-hand side, thankfully I jumped into one that was actually not connected yet to either one of the softwares. So this is where you start the transaction. And on mine, I have 2 of the electronic packages assigned to my account. So I can choose whichever one I want to start. So the challenge today is that you have, you're kind of stuck in that transitional period where you started working in DocuSign or .loop.
Yeah.
And now you want to get them in here. Either way, you could simply download your compliant documents and upload them either all at once or one at a time on the ones that are
that's
in
the
play.
way I've been doing it up to this point. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to be a little bit more efficient than that.
Yeah. Yeah. So next time you start the opportunity, you can choose whichever package you want to start working in, and then it'll open up either the loop or the room on the other side. You work over there for a while, get everything signed, and then slide it over.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome. Okay. So, Erin, what specific questions do you have? I know you're working on a team.
Yeah. Questions. We talked through the one that I had yesterday.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if I really have any open questions at this point, and I'm not sure I do.
Okay. So I'll kind of go over the transaction workflow because this is part of the compliance conversation. Of course, when you have connected an opportunity to your electronic signature account, you'll be able to upload the files. I'm going to jump over to an opportunity that I have been training with. Actually, it's a year ago yesterday that we started this opportunity. Let me try to find this one. Contact. What we did is we used this as a sample to run through compliance. Okay, so as you can see here, here's all the details, but that's not the most important thing. Documents have to be reviewed by your compliance department. Here's the listed folder, and let me go to the base folder. So this was a listing, and we completed all the documents, and we uploaded the documents as the agent. And then what we did is we submitted to the Market Center. Now, generally speaking, you'll see that button over here. It says resubmit because we've been working in here. Once the compliance department has approved or rejected, you can view their reasons if they've rejected anything. There's a spot over here where you can look at comments. So the comment section may be where the compliance department would be adding a comment for you with regard to the document that they rejected, why they rejected it, or if you're missing some things. Okay, so this is an easy way for you to converse with the compliance group. The message down here, if you need it to go to one specific person, you just use the @ sign and then choose the person in your compliance group that would be looking at this note. And it'll go over to that person in either notifications, and soon this summer they're doing an update, and that will be in an email right over to that person. Okay, so that's going to be an update shortly. Once you can just type in your note and then you hit reply. Okay, that's the way you can have a global note, we call it. The other notes you'll see down here, they had rejected this document and then I had to replace it. So they left a note in just that document. So all they did is we said test and rejection and replacement. So that's what that note was all about. Once they have approved everything, they will leave a note. So right up here, the status was changed, and now it alerts the compliance department that they have to review this opportunity because there were documents that had been changed in the system. So it'll show them that there's something changed. Once they review it and they accept it, this will change to accepted. Okay, so that's how you will know as an agent, and especially you, Erin, when you're running the team, what documents are outstanding and what needs to be taken care of or what's approved. All right, the other thing I wanted to show you is in each folder, there's this little drop down button. So not as much with a listing folder, but also often there may be multiple offers on a property. And are you guys experiencing that in your area?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So sometimes we have an offer that is fully signed, fully executed, moves into the transaction, and it dies. Okay. And we then now have to, let's say this was the first contract that was approved, and all of these things were approved, the whole file's approved, everything was fine, and then it died out. Now what we do, instead of creating an entire new opportunity, we can go right here to the contract drop down button, and then we can create a new version and we can name it. You see, I've done this a few times in my classes, and then it will populate all fresh, clean placeholders so that you can upload all the right documents. Okay. And then in the offers tab, you would just go to the offers tab where you had all of those multiple offers. And then you, let's see, did we accept one? Okay. If you happen to accept it, then you just click the reject button or change response button, and then either accept one of the previous offers or update a new one. Okay. And so that's how the information goes into the commission side. All right. So did you guys have any more questions on the document side with compliance? There's a lot of features there.
I think I just have to keep messing around with everything.
Yeah.
I mean, I logged in so that I could see what you're teaching. I have so much to learn that I'm here to watch.
Yeah, that's fine. And I appreciate you jumping in. There's two Erins. There's another Erin coming in. Erin K.
Nothing trouble.
Hey.
All right. So just know that if you have an issue with a contract, you don't have to redo the whole opportunity. There is a way. The only time you can't change things in the opportunity is when you have a commissions tab that's imported into Winmore. Once it's imported, then if something happens to it and it dies, then you need a new opportunity. All right. But other than that, you can edit a lot of things in here. And just remember, this is just where your compliance lives. There's so much more to the system. Also, down on the left-hand side, you'll see that there's custom folders. So you can add a custom folder if you have like items that are not required for compliance. In my area, we have elevation certificates. There might be surveys, additional feature sheets, things like that. If you feel that they're necessary to keep in the document storage here, you can just add another folder. And then once you add another folder, you can add the document and just hold it there. So it's, yeah.
We've been using the custom folders, and I just want to make sure I'm not missing something. Once you create one and name it, it doesn't seem I could rename the folder. Do you concur?
I believe that's true. Yeah, I have not been able. No, that won't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I mean, same with the documents. And this might be a little bit more of a venting thing, but in case somehow I'm wrong, I might as well say it. If we upload a document into the custom folder or one of the compliance folders, either way, and then we're on like a different computer later on and we want to download it to like do something with it or email it out or whatever, it changes the name of the document too. Whereas like if I had originally named it, say like 123 space capital M main space capital S street space, settlement space notice, when I put it in here and then I re-download it back out, it lowercases everything and puts hyphens between all the words. And it's like, it kind of drives me a little nuts, but that's just one of my like little admin, pet peeve things that probably no one else notices.
I will tell you, there's a few admins that I definitely know, and I have another admin for a team that I've been working with, and she is just like you, where she names everything based on the transaction, the agent, the part of the transaction it's in. So I understand.
It preserves the name. It just lowercases everything and puts the hyphens, and I don't like it like that. So then I have to rename it every time I download it.
Frustrating, like, right? So,
and I also like when you add a document to a custom folder, it makes you select what type of document it is. I don't know if you know what I mean. It's like a required field, and not that you have any control over this, but I don't know if I understand why it's so important for that to be like a required field. It's just an extra step every time I want to add a document.
Yeah, that's interesting, right? So as if it's in a custom folder, essentially it's not being reviewed. Right. So why would it need this? That's a good question.
Yeah, and most of the time it doesn't fall under any of those options. So I scroll all the way down to other, and it's like I have to scroll down in that drop down, but then I have to scroll down on the bigger pop up because like it doesn't go all the way to the word other. It's just
and I get it. So every action makes it a little bit more arduous, right?
That's right.
Yeah, every action makes it a bigger issue. Yeah. So yeah, that's something that let me just pop it into my notes here. That's a good question. So get to my notes for tech. Lots of tech notes.
Okay, well, I'll let you finish writing that. But I have one more just question, and I'm pretty sure the answer is no, but I just want to be sure.
I don't know for sure, so let's try.
So I know DocuSign and Command talk in the sense that you can, like something that's in DocuSign, you can add directly into Command. You can't go the other direction, right? In other words, like at the end of a transaction, we couldn't like mass dump anything we put in a custom folder in Command over into DocuSign, right?
There's a mass dump.
Yeah?
Yeah. So you see this little button? Export all selected documents. Now, see, in some states, they require the agent to send out the file to the customer. So you can choose if you want to protect these documents with a password. You can export all. Interesting. The custom folders don't show up.
Right there. No. So close.
Are you using ideas.kw.com?
No.
Is
that like just where you would submit kind of suggestions?
Yeah. So ideas.kw.com. And in here, come on. Check to see if any of those items have been in. So it would be probably there's got to be a lot of DocuSign issues in here. So look through this. There's a lot of stuff in here. If you have any requests, post it, and like if you tag people that you know that it might be important for, because the more votes it gets, you see these little the bubbles are ideas, but in each bubble, the ideas have a voting item. So people can vote on them. The support, or I should say the tech programmers, they are looking at these items to prioritize what they choose to work on next. All right. So that will give you a little bit insight if something is a hot fix or if it's going to be way down on the list. And then the other
Mhm.
thing is that if you get people to vote on it, it helps. You send out a little note and say, vote on this for me.
Okay.
So that's
Okay.
another idea. Because
Thank you.
you do have good ideas. Here's the challenge. The ideas that you have, because you're probably a high C, you're running a team, and there's fewer of you than there are of the agents that are running around and say, I need to make my website look good, right?
Mhm.
So Sean's
Yeah.
laughing.
Yeah. Can you tell I'm like a 99C on my disc?
Yeah. So so those are good ideas. And just know, for any topic, you can go on there and you can write an idea and have it voted on. So there you go. There's the export document. That was something that came up at family reunion, and a lot of us were so happy about it. You can export documents. I know that sounds kind of funky, but that's what it was. So you've got the you've got a lot of little buttons here, but Sean, I just wanted to make sure that you're clear about getting to your documents, getting them over. I know you're working in Dotloop right now. Does your market center have a deadline for Dotloop?
So we were just bought out. So I'm going to be attending our first team meeting on Zoom next week. So
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah. So we'll see.
Okay. So
I mean, my goal is to get there
yeah.
way faster than whatever the deadline is.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you. Take it
We'll
one
see.
step at a time.
Yeah.
We have all the classes that I did for KW Philly have been sent over to the staff, and so they have recordings of them all, as well as all of the slideshows. Okay, so you'll be able to go through those and look at them and learn how to work in DocuSign. Okay,
cool.
And awesome, yeah. So Erin K, I see that you're here, but you're muted. I just wanted to pop in because what I had intended to show everyone today was different than what Erin and Sean needed. So I just wanted to check in with you. What role are you in the Market Center?
I'm an agent, but I do, right now with our team, we don't have an admin. So
you need Erin, the other Erin.
yeah. So the girls are just kind of coming to me with some questions. So I just came in just to see if there's anything new that I need to learn.
Okay.
Yeah, and just keep myself familiar with.
Okay. Yep. So I've been going over how to send in, how to upload all your documents, the comments that go back and forth, and just know when you're in the system, when you upload a new document, your green button will show up to submit to Market Center.
Yeah.
Okay. The next thing on here, if you don't have any other questions on the document side, I'll go over the offers. So there's so many cool things about this, and so there's 2 agents and an admin on here. One of the things that we use this for is to give the information to the system about the price of the contract. Okay. The other way is you can, as a listing agent, send out a link so that another busy agent can send you an offer, let's just say just the summary offer, before they get all the documents done. Okay, so in this world where we have so many multiple offers, you can actually create this URL, and because I have this link, I have a KWLS property in here, and it's linked to a house that was in the MLS. I generate the offer URL. It gives me this button, and then I just copy it and I jump over to open it up in a new okay, so the picture behind it is the picture from the MLS photo. The offer, this is actually the name of the opportunity. So if you're doing this at a high level, of course, it's going to be the name of the property address. So you make sure that whatever you put on the property address, or you name the actual opportunity, it's going to show up here. So you put the full name of the buyer's agent. So let's just say, and then I have the buyer. I'm just going to put Sean as the buyer. Okay. Clearly, if you were an agent that wanted the listing agent to reach out to you, you would put your email and phone number in there, right? They're asking what the offer is. So the contract creation date, let's just say it's today. Closing date, so whenever they're going to close, let's say in 60 days. Contract amount, let's just say $425. We don't really use this. I don't know if you guys use option periods and fees and earnest amount. You might want to put earnest amount as the deposits, right? So let's just say 125, just for number's sake. You can say whether they are pre-approved or pre-qualified, true or false. And then in the terms, you can actually just repeat what I just put in there, but it's not, this is the only one that's required. So let's put sale price of $425. Oops. Oh, it's going to take cash amount. Okay, it's going to add it together. I did not make my math additions correct. What did I do here? I need 3. There we go. That should be right. There we go. Okay. Usually it's much easier than that. The property address comes up because I pulled it right up from the opportunity. My name as the, it comes in as the seller, and then the seller's agent is here. So I think we had this flipped in the other system. Doesn't matter. And then the agent analysis. So the agent can say, my buyers are the best. And then cons. No other cons for this offer. Summary. Pick us. Right? It's just something. And then just submit the offer. Now, the cool thing for you as an agent, now, if you go in here and you refresh this, that offer is going to show up right here. All right. So think about the power that you can use with this. You can send that link out either in a text or an email over to another busy agent who's running around and says, oh my gosh, I'm out showing houses. We've been out for like the entire day. I got to go home and make dinner and I can't put the contract together until tomorrow. Say, great, I'm just going to send you a link and you give me the basics. So I just want to see the summary information and then we'll connect tomorrow. That's fine. And then you'll know just by looking at this if that's even something that your seller's going to look at, right? The other thing is that you could actually send this out in your social media. And how powerful is this going to be when you can put a link out there and say, if you're interested in this property, make me an offer, okay? Make us an offer. So if you send that link out and somebody clicks on it, it's really a lead capture form. And whether they have an agent or not, you can put in there, with or without an agent, make me an offer. And then what's the first thing you're going to do when you see this in here and you have, you're going to call that person and you're going to ask them, are you working with a realtor? Because that's your duty. You have to ask. And then if they're not working with a realtor, you could double end that deal. Okay. So I just wanted to show you another cool thing is when you select all of these offers, and I hope you can see this, when you select all these offers, if you want to compare the offers, it gives you a beautiful spreadsheet that you can discuss with your client. You can download it and you can email it either way. All right, so as a listing agent, or even Erin, if that's something that you would be working on for your team, what do you think about this feature?
I like it. I don't know how many agents would, like outside of KW, would use it, but it's definitely worth sending, right?
Oh yeah. Either way,
for sure.
you put in the information, even if you receive, even at paper, if somebody drops off an offer to you in paper, you just enter in the data, and it's really a summary. It's a couple of pieces of information, and then it creates this beautiful spreadsheet. So you can really have a deeper conversation with your seller.
Yeah, it's nice and clean, and you can, it's easy to just, I like it.
Yeah. It's definitely a great feature in here. So it's not a requirement. It's, this is something that you can utilize when you're using our system, right? So either way, no matter what you decide to do, you have to select an offer. So I'm going to just accept this offer, because if you see here, the commissions tab is grayed out. You cannot actually enter a commission. And we want to make sure that you get paid. So this is the key to getting paid. And Sean, I'm sure you want to get paid fast, right? Yeah. So you just accept an offer, whatever the client, whatever the seller has accepted, you click accept. And whether you're on a seller side or a buyer side, you still have to go through the process of just popping in that information. And you see here, now the commissions tab is open.
Got it.
We can go in there. Okay. So now that we go in there, this is where you enter your commission. So have you guys seen this part yet? I think Aaron Whitman has. Sean, have you? Yeah.
I have seen it. I'm just not proficient.
Okay. All right. So those of you that work on teams, or if you have a coach, there's a couple of little tricks to this. If you are paying somebody else other than yourself out of this commission, you need to edit your agent payment down to, you can change, this was interesting because they just changed this, that you can recalculate the commission automatically, because it used to be manually. All right. So in our offices, our coaches get 10% of the deal. So the agent would drop the unit down to 0.9, and it would recalculate that commission. I would save the changes. All right. And then I could add another agent. Let's say I'm going to pay the coach or pay a co-agent on the team. And Erin, I'm sure you might have a couple of agents on one transaction, right? So yeah. So you would have to this would have to be somebody in your market center. Okay. So Kara Mazzola is one of the coaches in our market center, and it automatically understands that it's looking for 1/10 of a unit, and it's looking to find out where I'm putting this extra commission. So it automatically just calculates that, and I just have to save the changes. Okay. So if all of this information is accurate, all you need to do is click the submit button, and done. Now your office has the information that they need to pay you.
Oh, I have a question.
Yeah.
So like say so I use an like conveyancer that's out of KW, and so the buyers pay that broker fee, but if it's a VA deal, like I would pay it for the buyer. So how would I put that in there if it's going to come from my commission?
Is it on the HUD, and is it coming out of the commission before you receive your check?
Yes.
Then your commission here would probably be adjusted on this side. So in edit and general information. So if you're getting a commission rate and the total commission is different than the rate, then just change it here. Whatever's coming inbound to the office.
Okay. So would it have to match that 2.5%?
No.
Okay.
No, you could change it here and it'll adjust this.
Oh, okay. Perfect.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. Some people, do you guys do a lot of referral work?
Yeah.
Yeah, I see Sean. Yeah.
One of my deals is a referral. So yeah, I have to figure that out with the co-broker.
Awesome. And I'll take referrals to the Jersey Shore too.
Sure.
Yeah. So what you do is you edit the agent payment. Okay. So the agent is paying the referral fee, and you add an item right down the bottom. You add the item and you choose the type of item, and it is on the bottom here, outside referral.
Right.
Okay, so the outside referral, there's a glitch and they know about this, they're fixing it. But you would say in here, you'd have to manually factor the amount. So let's just say it's $3,000. It's calculating the amount to be a percentage. The required tax ID is coming from the W-9. So you must get the W-9 form that's signed by the broker of that office. Okay, whatever office it is outside of your market center. And the type is an EIN because it's broker to broker if you're not paying an agent. The tax ID, of course, you would put the actual tax ID in there, the broker name, all right, the agent name. All right, what's the address out there?
We're 720 West Lancaster Ave.
It populates right front, Bryn Mawr?
Yep.
I actually live on Bryn Mawr Avenue, on the corner of Bryn Mawr and Route 35. That's funny.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah. And then, okay, and then that's the only thing that's required. Okay, and then you just add it. So now you see the referral fee is paid to you, and that the reason why we put all that information is it's sending it over to the MCA so the MCA can send it out to the right company. Okay.
Very cool.
Yeah, so that's all you do, and then you just save those changes. And then on the right-hand side over here, you'll see the total commission is here. The outside referral shows up here. And then the associate royalty, company dollar, and any deductions, like we have MLS fees that we have to adjust. And then here, any agents that are involved in the transaction.
Very cool.
All right, and then you just submit it. Now, sometimes you need to add notes for your MCA, and you just do that right here. So you add a note, and again, you can type your personal note. I don't think this works here. No, that doesn't work here. But you can add a personal note like, please be sure to pay the referral to Sean in Philly. All right, so then the MCA would definitely see that.
Cool.
All
like
right.
it.
So tell me, I've been talking for almost 40 minutes. Tell me what you heard and anything that you may have learned new today.
Uh-oh.
I didn't know about the ability to like mass export documents from command, so that was really helpful to learn.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
All right. Sean, how you doing there?
Like I've got to get in and start doing this stuff to make sure that it commits to memory. But yeah, I mean, I took as many notes as I could on, I mean, I have to go back in and start the opportunity from scratch for things that I'm already under contract on. So I got to get rolling on that. As soon as we hang up, I'm doing that.
Okay, good. So remember, when you go to the opportunity tab, it's just easy, create opportunity. And then once you create the opportunity, remember now, is yours, Sean, are you in a business center or a market center?
Market center.
Market center. Okay. So we've seen, we have two business centers in our 4 market centers. So there was a little glitch. So I wanted to make sure I knew who I was talking to.
Well, what's the difference there? Like what happens when it's a business center versus market center?
An agent that is assigned to a business center. So it's like a smaller market center, a smaller office than the market.
Yeah.
So what happens if they choose their market center in the list right here? So all of these are full market centers, but an agent that's actually in the business center may have that option to choose Spring Lake, which is a business center. The problem is in the commissions tab, there's something funky in the middle that it's not recognizing that agent in that market center to pay them. So we've had a couple of issues on the commission end because in the beginning they chose the wrong thing. And it's just something that we have to let them know. Right now it's a known bug and they're fixing it. But we want to make sure that the agent gets paid correctly. So we have to just adjust this way. All right. And then we have asked the agents to add their property information right here in the opportunity name, especially if you're working with a listing right away. You can change it later when you're working with a buyer. Commission rate is your side of the commission. Okay, remember that's only your side. And then those of you on a team, you have team options up here. So you have team, owner, and assignee. All right, so they would have to make sure. And then Erin, I think we were talking yesterday, Erin Whitman, about the team and the where to put the DocuSign, where to put the documents, what's going to be the best thing. And it's really going to be the standard operating procedure from your team. So if your team wants to hold all the data, then you have to treat the permissions that way. Or if an agent is allowed to, if they leave the team, they can take their contacts and their opportunities with them, then that's a different permission level. So the core essence of how you run the team will determine where you decide to run all those things. And then also where you have access, right? Because the admin won't have access to all the DocuSign contracts, because you would have to, if each person had their own personal access, then an admin would have to log into each person's DocuSign account.
So question on that though, like we're finding we still have to do that. Even within Command, our Rainmaker owning the opportunities, we still have to, when we go over to DocuSign from any opportunity, log in to the agent's DocuSign. Mm-hmm. Do you think that maybe that's not the case?
I will tell you that there are a lot of updates coming for teams. The focus last year was all single agent, and now this year it's teams and Market Center administration. Mm-hmm. Because Market Center administration and teams on the back end of the software works the same. So they are working on those updates. So during the summer, you're going to see a lot more changes. And that's it's going to be one of the changes. So you might have to fight through it for a little while longer, unfortunately, until it's really perfected. And the sole issue on the DocuSign side is that that's an identity issue. No one else is supposed to have somebody's login and passcode for a signature platform.
Well, that to me is why they need to create a team functionality, because our team paid for .loop for teams. Mm-hmm. And that's it made it that way. We could just tie all of our agents together as a team so that like when I logged into my .loop account, I could just switch between our agents without having to know their username and password. And I think it would not let me sign on behalf of them. If I tried to sign something, it would still sign it as my name. So there was still, the security feature there. In fact, in my opinion, then that's more secure. The way we're forced to do it right now is we have to keep all of our agents' usernames and passwords in a list and log in and out. And that's dangerous. And So I'm sure I'm preaching to the choir there, but
I'm going to put I don't know if you've seen this in the chat box. I'm going to put a link to the command team functionality. And if you haven't seen this before, this may be helpful for you. And also for Erin K, because I know even though Erin K is also an agent on a team, it might be helpful to see what that looks like.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, the templates in DocuSign.
Yeah, if that's a quick thing. If it's not, then I can wait.
Full disclosure, I'm not terribly proficient at that yet. Okay. Let me finish with the opportunity right here, because I wanted to finish with Sean. We got down a rabbit hole. if you just create that opportunity here, once you do that, sorry, it's trying to search for a client. You can change the, just go to one of my training ones. You can change the property and the address right here. In leases, do you guys do leases much? Yeah, we've noticed
our team actually does like honestly more rental business than sale.
Oh, wow. Are you having trouble pulling from KWLS on a lease?
Mm-hmm.
I heard an yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Here's the trick. On a lease, now this is not a lease, but you would add the property address here. And when you do that, it will allow you to move through the commission.
We don't see your screen anymore.
Oh, sorry. How about I share my screen?
It's all good.
Okay. Sorry. Let me go back. Cancel. So when you're here in the property details, click the little pencil and add the property address. And when you do that and save it, you can then move through the commission tab for a lease. And it's for the landlord or tenant side, either way. We've noticed, and I don't know if this is a bug or if designed that way, that it's not pulling from the KWLS for a lease. All right. I hope that was helpful, because that was a bug that we figured out like just out of circumstance.
So that's what I was doing before. So just doing that is fine, right? If it's not pulling from, okay.
Yeah, cool. Let me go to one of my leases, because I haven't done a lot of those in training. Just pull this up.
Because sometimes if it's like, if it's a bigger building and there's one unit on the MLS, but there isn't another units available that's not on the MLS.
Yeah.
I didn't know if that mattered or not.
We were in cultivate. If it's not on the MLS, you can put the property address in there.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Well, here's one, landlord. So yeah, we couldn't pull this from the KWLS. We actually had to populate it right in here. Once we did, then we were able to go to commissions, because you see there's a couple things that are missing. Documents tab is here, right? And then commissions is here. But we were just having a real hard time going through commissions and submitting it because it wasn't pulling from the MLS. So that's the key, just in the details. So if you're ever having a weird glitch like that, just populate the property address in there. All right.
All right, so I have a question now.
Yeah.
I opened that link that you had just sent us about some of the team functionality stuff, and it said, how do I get my Rainmaker to be added to the DocuSign room? And it said that it says that when you create an opportunity in Command, it doesn't matter that your Rainmaker owns the opportunity. That will not automatically add them as a person in the DocuSign room. It says you would need to add them as an assignee to the opportunity, and then when you create the room, it'll put the Rainmaker in the room as a person. So it's unclear to me, though, if that would have to, like, if you would already have had to add the Rainmaker as an assignee to the opportunity before you first create the room, like if it's a one opportunity to do it, no pun intended, or if that's already been done, can you go back and add the Rainmaker as an assignee, and then when you go back to the room, will it add them? You don't happen to know that, do you?
I think when you're here, you can invite people in the room. Now, I'm attached to 4 market centers, so it automatically puts them in here in the people. And when I'm using DocuSign, I never go to people, because these I only use details. Yeah. But I think this might be where you need to add your people. So go to your address book, and if you've had them in there several times, you just pull the address book in. and I can add the selected person, transaction side, invite, agent owner, view permissions. I can set permissions and then invite.
So in theory, we could add our Rainmaker to each
Mhm.
room and then
Mm-hmm.
access the room from the Rainmaker's account.
In theory, although I've had some questions about it and some challenges with the teams. So
Yeah.
there's a lot going on right now in DocuSign. Actually, Kelly Cody was on a regional call this morning at 10 o'clock that I haven't been able to listen to. So these are some of the things that we're working on, getting that smoother. And there's going to be updates this summer.
Okay.
So that'll be smoother. So right now that's that.
Sorry, quick question. Is there a way, like if there's someone, like a contact in my command that I haven't used in DocuSign, is there a way to like just type in their name?
Yeah. So,
because I don't know how to do that other than
Yeah.
putting their email address in.
So when you hop on over, and Sean, if you were to start an opportunity and then click that transaction button into DocuSign, then it'll drop you in the document section of the room you just created. All right. What I teach when I teach my DocuSign class is go to details first. And when you're here, you just click the edit button and then you can add your people on the right-hand side. And when you do that, those people are going to be added to your address book. Every time that you add somebody, it'll be added to your address book. So when you edit, you'll see that you can edit the people. And I'm going to go to the seller. I can, let's say it's somebody that I've worked with before. I can go to my address book and I can click anybody in here.
Yeah.
Okay, and then I can fill that contact information. Let me go to Ashley. And then the name, let's say I've had all their information in there, and then it'll save.
But what if they're a client that's in my command, like they're in your command, but you haven't added them to DocuSign yet? Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like if I find that.
I know, it's double entry right now.
Okay, so I still have to like add their email address and then like kind of re-add them in. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unfortunately. Yeah, right now it is double entry. So before I jump off of this screen, Sean, because you've been kind of newer to DocuSign, do you have any questions on this screen? Because I was going to also show quickly templates.
No, I'm going to go in and start messing around like, as soon as possible. I know I'll be able to figure it out. And if I have questions, our admin or the office admin is good. So.
Okay, good. And they've got some of my videos. Mm-hmm.
Right. Thank you.
Excellent. Also, just so that you have great resources with Marty Miller on YouTube. He has been a wonderful resource for where I've learned a lot of the DocuSign tasks. And also Nick Baldwin, he runs Command 101.
Yeah, I've seen
There's great videos with both of them. Jason Abrams does a lot. So YouTube is a great resource for a lot of the DocuSign lessons. Okay. So Erin K, you asked me about templates. Now here's what you can do. When you go to your initials, switch over to e-signature. Essentially, DocuSign, what we're using is two separate platforms. They have their basic version, and then they have Rooms, which is what we use for real estate and KW. Okay, so what you have to do is go over here to templates and create a new template. So you see, I've actually been over here creating a couple of them. If I want to make a new template, create template, it shows up as an envelope. I create the template description. Let me see what I can upload. Let me upload something. And I can make a template out of anything, any PDF. Let me just go to documents. Oh, I got so many documents in here. And DocuSign. Creating checklists. So then, let's say I want to make a role and I want to give it a name. So don't give it a name yet, just give it roles. So let's say buyer. And then I can add another recipient. I can say seller. All right, and then I can say agent. All right, let me name this. Okay, and then you go to the next button, and this is where you would drop, like, let's say that this is a document you would use over and over again. Might be a commission bill, it might be a listing agreement or whatever. So whatever you want to do, you can drop a signature wherever you need it. Okay. You could drop a date signed. Any of these action items, you can drop any of these things. You can even drop the name. So let's say that you want to put the name somewhere, like underneath the signature. And then you save and close it. Okay, so if I want to go back to the rooms, let me go back over to rooms where I would normally be when I'm creating documents. Let's go into test forms. Now the trick here is that you're not going to edit the document like you're used to. You're going to go into envelopes and you're going to create a new envelope. And let me put this as sample template. I'm going to use a template. I'm going to go find my templates, sample template, and then add selected. Come on. All right, and then I need to look at pre-tagged roles. Where's my buyer? Who is it? Let's say it's Greg. Add selected. Go to the next button. I know I'm doing this really fast.
That's okay.
And then once you're in here, it's asking who's going to sign this form. So it's Greg Wagner, just like the other forms are. And then you would send it out like that.
Okay.
So if I would do this for forms that you don't have a lot of content to edit, you know, like our real estate contracts have a lot of things that we would have to change. But we have a couple of things like maybe commission bills, or maybe you know, I have sample coaching contracts that I use that all I need to do is drop in the signatures. Right, so I would just drop in signatures, and if I forgot something, I could just simply do this and put another signature in there, or you know, move it around, or maybe he needs to initial down here, right? So I can move it around, and then all I would do is send it. Okay, so that is like the Cliff Notes version of a template.
Got it.
What kind of forms would you use for a template?
Well, okay, so that is something that like my team and I were talking about, because when I'm finding when I fill out, like say I'm doing an offer or like sending a contract to somebody, I guess we misunderstood templates, because even when like we fill out the details like fully and we have people like added in the people section, when I open up like say a contract in the like in your broker section, in your agent section, it doesn't have all the information filled out, like automatic, like the agent or broker license, the address. So I find that I'm like typing all of that stuff out every single time.
We've noticed that. We've actually reported that a lot of the details.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
There are some details that pass through,
But it's
So-
not much, yeah.
Yeah, so let's say over here in the detail section, you filled in the seller, you filled in location, you filled in maybe even the offer details. You guys are using your real estate license number and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, we do too. And it's not passing through. It actually has no field for it right now. So we are reporting some of these things to DocuSign so that they could get this in here.
Okay. Yeah, we didn't know if that was like a template in quotations. Like,
yeah,
you could
so
put that in.
let me show you on, here's this MLS form looks terrible, but I'll show you quickly. When you're looking at this MLS form, you can see the field that it's coming from. So if you're not sure how to figure out which field in the details, then you can look at it here. So it says optional room details, listing agent 1 phone number.
Dawn, I was playing around with that when I was preparing a contract. I forget what piece of information it was. That when I hovered over the field, it showed a little yellow pop-up, like, and showed that language for where it was pulling from. But when I went to the details tab, there was no field named it, like anything like it. I couldn't find where that was. It was weird.
So when you're finding stuff like that, you could take a screenshot, or even Loom. If you are using Loom videos, it really helps the tech support people to identify the issues. So Loom is an add-on. Do you know about that?
Yeah, I mean, I've used one called Screencast-O-Matic, but it seems like everyone uses Loom now, so I should probably get with the times.
They're asking us to use that with tech support issues when we're sending things to tier 2. So when you do that, it creates the link so that it's not an attached file.
Okay, gotcha.
All right. Yeah, so when you see something like that, it might be that the people who are formatting the forms can fix that, and that has to go to DocuSign.
Could I ask a quick question? I know we're over time.
You guys have, listen, you've had some great questions, all 3 of you.
Thanks. So in DocuSign, how you can only add a contract like one time. So like, if we have a buyer who makes an offer on one property, so we wrote up an offer for 123 Main Street, and then they didn't get that one, and so a couple of days later, we're writing up an offer for 123 Happy Street instead. I can't add a new agreement of sale or contract of sale, whatever you're used to calling it. I just have to reuse the existing one and change things. So I went to like the details tab and redid everything I could. Like I put the new address in, the new sellers, and whatever. And when I went back in to open up the agreement of sale, it had updated everything it could. But for a couple things that don't come over from the fields, like the tax ID number being the big one. So that's like the hard and fast identifier of the property. And I happened to catch it but I could very easily have missed it. I could very easily have just looked at the address area and said, oh, look, it updated. Great. And just totally forgotten that the tax ID number didn't update. It was still from the previous property. So like that was really scary for me.
So we just heard yesterday on a national call that DocuSign is going to have an update for us where they will allow you to delete a document, and so that you can upload a fresh one.
Oh.
Okay, great.
All right. That's been one of the biggest requests that they've had.
Okay.
All right.
Good to know.
Yeah. See that? All right.
Yay.
So so there you go. So yeah, when you have a signed document, it does create a copy for you. And you can go back into the other one. But I do understand your frustration when you are changing details. So understood. Hopefully that new update in DocuSign will help you.
Yeah.
All right. So Sean, you're going to go and dominate DocuSign and dominate your command, and you're going to be writing tons of contracts now. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to. Yeah. Thank you. Dawn, Aaron, thank you both, or thank all 3 of you for, Dawn, the class was great. Aaron and Aaron, you guys brought a ton of really good content for me too. So thank you.
Awesome. Well, I have appreciated. I've had fun with the KW Philly crew, and I'm sure I'll be talking to Jeremy moving forward. And if you have any questions, you could certainly reach out to me. If you needed it, here's my email address. If you had questions, shoot me a message. Okay. It's been fun
Thank you
working
so
with you
much.
guys. All right.
Thank you very much,
Great
Dawn.
day.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Whoops, here we go.
All right, bye.
Take care. Have a
Bye.
good one. Enjoy your day.